Shalom, back with part 2. Let's continue here. All right. Who shall be redeemed and saved. All right. All right. So Yahushua says, as the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, who is Yahweh, and I lay down my life for the sheep, okay, for Israel, for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the other sheep I have, so this is, he's not talking about the southern kingdom now. The other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. You see that? The northern kingdom. Got that? The 10 tribes that came onto the Americas after the Assyrian captivity. And like I already told you, you can start at 2 Kings chapter 17, and then go to 2 Ezra 13, 40 to 45. And then, of course, you have the entire scriptures, all right, which we'll talk about that, all right? Because, again, you know, the northern and the southern kingdom would have to come together. That is prophesied in Ezekiel chapter 37, the valley of dry bones, how the northern and the southern kingdom would come back together. You understand that? All right? Because we're going to be one kingdom, all right? So Judah and Ephraim would come back together. Ephraim being the head tribe of the northern kingdom, the 10 Indian tribes. Of course, you know, we say, you know, Latinos and Americans, those are the 10 Indian tribes, okay? All right? So we were already here when Columbus came here. You understand that? And when Columbus came here, he came representing Cristobal Colon, that's his real name. He came here representing King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella. And he also came here under a papal bull known as the Document of Discovery. All right? And simply what the Document of Discovery means was that Aboriginal, natives, and indigenous people were not allowed to own any lands. Now, guess what, people? That wasn't never even put into law until modern day here in America, Babylon the Great. Okay? You understand that? So it's interesting, those words, Aboriginal, Native, and indigenous people, those same words are used in the Constitution under the 13th Amendment, under citizenship. And it says that Aboriginal, Natives, and indigenous people are considered to be only 1/5 of a man, of a human being, all right? So correction on that, all right? That they're considered to be only 1/5 of a human being, all right? So who the hell do you think that's talking about? Yeah, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that make up 12 tribes of Israel, all right? All right, so again, like it says in Psalm 64:8, they shall fall by their own tongues, all right? And they do that, and they've always done that because they're proud. They're prideful, okay? All right? They write books about this stuff, all right, about themselves. And they tell you they're Edomites, okay? All right? They tell you that in their own encyclopedias, the 1948ers encyclopedias, all right? You can start with the 1925 edition, which you can find online, and it tells you that they're Esau, that they're Edomites, okay? And that they're Tamales. They have nothing to do with the scriptures, okay? And, you know, that's because, you know, they're not the people. Now, nobody's going to tell you, you know, they're not Hebrew, because remember, you know, that's Esau. That's Jacob's brother. Okay, but is he the chosen line? Are they the chosen people? The answer is no. Because what we're talking about, okay, the promise is to, you know, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through that line. So what a lot of these people like to do is they like to eliminate Isaac and Jacob, you know, from the program. But as you can see, they can run their mouth all they want. They can't do that because that's not the way it works. Okay, that's not how the scriptures read. Okay? All right? All right, so, and the other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, talking about the northern kingdom, the 10 Indian tribes, all right, which we call the Latinos and Native Americans, also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold, one kingdom, and one shepherd. All right? Okay? And of course, you know, we have Yahushua, he's the king, and of course we're going to have King David. You know, we're going to have the 12 apostles, and then you're going to have the 144,000. They're all men, 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes. And that makes up the governing bodies of the kingdom. And they're co-heirs to the kingdom with Yahushua, the Mashiach. All right? All right. Let's move on, shall we? Let's go to Isaiah. Let's see here. Let's go to Isaiah 10:22. All right. For though thy people, well, we'll start at verse 20. All right. So I'll get to that. And it shall come to pass in that day that a remnant, see this? A remnant. Now, what's important about that word? Remnant is that actually when Yahushua comes back, all right, with the angels, Michael the archangel and thousands upon thousands of other angels breaks through the clouds with the chariots, all right? And again, they're just waiting for the green light. They're all over the place. Everybody's seeing them, all right? So they can't hide it anymore, and you people should already know that, all right? They put that on 60 Minutes, and, you know, it's all over the place. It's all over YouTube. It's all over the internet, all right? You know, people seeing them, all right? It's as clear as day, all right? And anyway, the point being is when he gets done, all right, with the concentrated laser fire from the chariots, plus you're going to have that thermonuclear fire from the ICBMs coming from the other nations onto America, Babylon the Great. When he gets done, all that's going to be left, all right, as you can see here, Israel, only a remnant, because only a remnant will return back onto the Lord, all right? But this was prophesied. This is written. Those are the names that are written in the book of life, okay? Only a remnant will return. And for the other nations, only a remnant of them are going to survive, okay? And they're all going to be what? They're going to be subdued and go right into captivity, into chains, all right? They're going into slavery, all right? And this is all scriptural, people. This is all scriptural. But that's a lesson for another day. That's just to clarify the fact is, we're talking about the word remnant. That's what's going to be about the other nations. All right? We shall possess a remnant of Edom and of the other heathen nation. And again, you read that. Give me a minute. All right. Let's go to, I wanted to open up another tab. So I open one up here in the blue letter. Let's go to Amos. All right. Let's go to Amos 9 and around the 11th verse. All right. All right. And you know what? I'll start here at verse 11 for you. All right. And it says, in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David. Again, that's the elect of Israelites. For those of you who don't realize that, that is fallen. And I shall close up the breaches thereof. Like, in other words, Judah shall not vex Ephraim, and Ephraim, shall not, envy Judah. All right? You understand that? In other words, there ain't going to be any differences with the tribes. You understand that? All right, those breaches will be sealed up. That's what Ezekiel chapter 37 is all about. All right, the house of David, that has fallen, coming back together again. And close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. You see that? As in the times of King David and Solomon. All right? And that day, who's they? The Israelites, the elect of Israel, that they may possess a remnant of Edom, of the Edomites, the white man, and of all the heathen. You see? But it'll be what? A remnant. You see? You understand? Of every nation. So Esau, Edom, plus the other 16 heathen nations, right? Those are 17 nations right there. And then, of course, you have the nation of Israel. All right, let's get back. All right? Okay? So it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, all right, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. Who smote us? Well, all the nations, but particularly who? The Edomites, the white man. But shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh. We say that because we see the word Lord in all caps, all right? In the Hebrew Bible, in the Hebrew text, in the Hebrew characters, it is read from right to left. Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob. You see, there it is, clear for you. Does it say that it's talking about any other nation? You see any other nation mentioned there with Jacob? Edomites, Moabites, Ishmaelites? No, you don't. Do you understand, people? Who is it that shall be redeemed and saved? Who are we talking about? Israel, the Israelites, Jacob. Made up of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Period. Point blank, period. All right? So, unto the mighty God power. And for though thy people, Israel, be as the sand of the sea. Again, you further read about that. Hosea 1 and 10. You also read about it in Romans, the 9th chapter. You read about it in Jeremiah. I mean, it's all over the scriptures. Right? For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return, right, back unto the Lord, their power. The consumption decree, right, shall overflow with righteousness. See that? You understand, people? All right. Let's jump to Romans as a precept. All right. Jump to Romans. Romans 9 and 27. All right. What does it say here? And Esau also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, right? Then we just finished reading this. A remnant shall be saved. You see that? Now, again, all of Israel is going to be saved. All right? Okay? All of Israel is going to be saved. Let's see here. All right? And it shall come to pass, right, in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there they shall be called the children of the living God power. You see? All right? But now, okay, all of Israel shall be saved. Okay? All of Israel shall be saved. All right? Let's see here. Come back. But that's what it says. All right? So all of Israel shall be saved anyway. They're going to come back through the elect. You understand? They're going to be reborn in the kingdom. All right? we'll end this here. We'll be right back with part 3. Shalom.